I played one whole year of Stardew Valley. Let's see how much money we can make by the end of the year. Hello everybody, this is GamerGar. Welcome back to another 1 year Stardew Valley challenge. For the purposes of this video, we are going to try to make as much money as possible. Progression will be thrown out the window. All of our efforts will be put into money making. Let's see if we can make millions upon millions of gold by the end of the year. Huge shout out to all my channel members. Let's jump straight into the action. It is day number 1 of our money making challenge. We are going to clear up all of the debris on the farm, cut down some trees, make a chest, and we are going to store more or less everything inside except for our trusty hoe. We're going to run around Pelican Town, pick up as many forageables as we can. We're going to talk to Pierre and we're going to purchase some potatoes. There's a reason why we're purchasing potatoes and I'm going to fill you in on that in just a few more in-game days. We're going to water up our crops, including all the mixed seeds that we found, and the rest of the day is spent using up all of our energy to get more wood. The next day we come across a help wanted quest, 3 anchovies for the lovely Willie himself. We will oblige of course because we're going to be fishing down in the beach anyway, so an extra bit of gold won't be a bad thing. We're going to talk to Willie, give him the anchovies that he so desperately wanted. He is going to give us 90 gold. That will actually go a long way for us. We're going to go up to the lake area and fish up here for the rest of the evening. We get level 3 fishing by the end of day number 2. We can now make Dish of the Sea, which is very important, especially if you want to get a very early legend fish, and that is the main strategy that we're going for in the first half of spring. The next day we get the Nautilus fossil artifact. We can trade that in for 250 gold. That 250 gold is very nice. That, combined with all of the fish we got yesterday, gives us just enough to purchase a fiberglass rod along with some bait. For the rest of the day, we will try to pull up as many catfish as possible. Rule of thumb, if we get a rainy day in spring, we will be trying to pull up as much catfish as we can. It is one of, if not the most profitable fish in spring, bar of course, the legend. We're going to go up to the lake in the evening time, pull up more fish there. We get level 5 fishing. We're going to take Fisher. Fish worth 25% more. That sounds good to me. The next day we're going to do even more fishing. It is only day number 4. The mines haven't opened yet, so it will be a fishing a day. Now what we're really aiming for here is level 7 fishing. We can then go make a Dish of the Sea that will put us up to level 10 fishing, and then we can try for an early legend fish. Throw that into a fishing pond and we have an incredibly powerful passive money maker for the rest of the game. Now I sold a lot of fish today. I was also holding back on fish that I caught yesterday just to get more money from that fishing buff. The next day we are going to pull up all of our lovely parsnips. We get a few extra pieces because of the mixed seeds. We're going to use all our money and purchase 151 kale. That's going to get us a lot of money and a lot of farming XP. We get our first prize ticket off Robin for completing a lot of the help wanted quests. One more prize ticket and we will unlock the potent mystery boxes. Now we do have a lot of kale to water up, but it just takes a few in-game hours. For the rest of the day it's going to be more fishing. We could have went to the mines, but I really want to push for an early legend. Now tomorrow is going to be a rainy day, but we need foraging level 3 so we can make a cookout kit, because we have no other way to cook items at this moment in time. We do get down to level 10 in the mines today. We're going to get the leather boots. We come across an elite slime. We take that out. We pick up a wood club. Now this is level 2 club, but for more or less 50% of the mines it will decimate enemies with ease. When we get to level 20 we pick up a steel smallsword. It is however not in the leagues of the wood club that we got, so that's just going to go into a chest and that will be sold eventually. For the rest of the day we're just cutting down trees. We're going to visit Clint now. We're going to upgrade our pickaxe to copper. The rest of the day is spent fishing yet again, because this is a money challenge and fishing, especially in the early games, is a great way to make money. Level 3 foraging, we can now make the cookout kit, and it is quite cheap to make and it is quite handy to get that very early. It just saves us from upgrading the house. We're pulling up more catfish today. Now we're getting a silver star catfish. Reason being, I just wasn't casting in the right waters to pull up gold star catfish. We've 6,263 gold. We're going to get the hash browns recipe off Gus, because we need a hash brown to make a Dish of the Sea. We're also going to purchase an oil off Pierre as well. We also need that to make Dish of the Sea. We're now going to go to Robin's and we're going to get her to craft a fish pond for us. this is where the legend is going to go. So we're going to make our hash browns by combining potatoes and oil. We're now going to make dish of the sea by combining 2 sardines and a hash brown together. This will give us a +3 to fishing. At the moment we have a fishing skill of 8, this will push us up to 11, and boom, that is the legend in the bag for us. We are not going to smoke that and sell it. We're going to put it into the fish pond. You're way better off, trust me. That is going to make us incredible money throughout the year. Over 8,500 gold today, and the beaches pays us a visit. We're going to go with the mushrooms because we're going the Jojo route, and the mushrooms are great early on for energy and for some profits. Today I was aiming for a cave jelly. Luck was on my side. We pulled one up. We now have all of the mats needed to make a smoker. We do need 10,000 gold to buy it though. A copper axe upgrade and some Jojo membership. We are off to a great start. We'll also get the first backpack upgrade. We really need more inventory slots so we're not throwing valuable items away, especially items that can make us money. We get some bubbles up by the lake area today. We'll use those to our advantage to get even more fish to make even more money. The fish pond has been created. The legend goes inside. We'll put a nice little signpost up there too, just so everybody knows we have a legend in our fish pond. We're only in the 2nd week of spring. We're doing amazingly well, and it's all thanks to the buff food, Dish of the Sea. So we're just going to make more progressions today in the mines. We came across another elite slime. It dropped the forest sword. It's a pretty nice weapon early on. We're going to swap it out for the wood club, but we're going to keep the wood club close by in case we want to swap it out again. We're going to try the forest sword now to see how effective it is in the early to mid-tier levels of the mines. I made it down to floor 40 today, and we're going to pick up the slingshot. We want to make it down as deep as possible so we can start farming the gold ores. We need lots of iron and lots of gold to make quality sprinklers. So the sooner we get down, the better. Picking up the tundra boots is nice, the more defense the better. This is our first kale harvest. We get lots of farming skill ups, which is great. We're now going to sell this to get a lot of money. Now we are going to pull up even more catfish today. We're not going to purchase crops anytime soon. It's now the 11th. We have to think about the strawberries. We also get our copper axe back off Clint today. Marcelo has also visited, but we're going to hold tight. We're not going to loosen our pocket strings. No, we are going to pick up a prize ticket behind Marcelo's fancy balloon, and we get a couple of skill ups in farming. So we get level 3, level 4 and level 5. We're going to take tiller, crops were 10% more. Today we made a grand total of 17,483 gold, thanks to all of the kale that we just sold. Now we could have waited one extra day, sold the kale for 10% profit, but we needed money for the fish smoker, so that's why I sold the kale the day beforehand. With the fish smoker, we can now double the profits of most of the fish we pull up. We had all the cave jellies and the hardwood in order to make it. We're now going to do more catfishing today, but this time we're going to have the fish smoker right beside us. Every time we pull up a shad or a catfish, it's going to go into the fish smoker where it will double in value. But it gets better. If we get Artisan later on, we will get even more for smoked fish. Now we just got 9 legend raw today, and this is the first and last time we're going to get 9. Concerned Abe significantly nerfed legendary fish ponds, literally the in-game day after I was playing this game. So the update hit fairly soon, and the fish ponds are now much more balanced. We get a skill up in Foraging, which is great, and we're going to turn a lot of this raw into aged raw, where its value will significantly increase. We're also going to sell some regular raw as well, just to get some more money. We do need lots of money, especially for the strawberries that we want to purchase. Speaking of strawberries, we are going to go ahead and purchase 108 pieces. That is exactly enough for the greenhouse that's filled up with quality sprinklers. And that is one of the main tactics we're going for in spring. We are going to go for an early greenhouse, and that is made possible by going the Jojo route. If we get an early greenhouse filled up with strawberries, every 4 days we're going to get at least 15,000 gold into the bag, and that is going to give us huge profits going forward. We're just making more progression in the mines today. We got down to floor 70, picked up the master slingshot. More legend road today, but only 1 piece, not the usual 8 or 9 pieces, oh no. But despite the fact that you only get 1 or 2 pieces now, it is still extremely overpowered, and you should absolutely put your legend into a fish pond to make tons of money in the long run. We pick up our first book of power, the Monster Compendium. It has a 5% chance for monsters to drop double the loot. Now 5% may seem like a small figure, but you'll be surprised with the amount of monsters you're going to slay, just how much it activates. We picked up the Firewalker boots on floor 80, and we're going to continue down even more. We're now getting gold ore, which is great. We can start smelting that into gold bars. We also picked up an incredible weapon upgrade. This is called the Slammer, a level 7 club, and it is quite the weapon. It's actually a very good weapon to bring into Skull Caverns as well, if you're looking for something to see you through most of the way. Eventually we will try to upgrade that to a galaxy weapon. We also get the Dark Boots. It has a +4 defense rating, much better than the Firewalker boots, so we're going to put those on straight away. What makes the Slammer so awesome is that you can slam it into the ground, spam right click and deal multiple bouts of damage to an enemy, one-shotting most enemies that you have in the regular mines. The next day we're going to pick up some forageables here, and the great thing about picking up forageables is that you also get small little pockets of farming XP as well. So we're going to sell our aged roe. We're going to get 20,000 gold for all of that. That brings us up to 48,000 gold now. What are we going to do with that? We're going to go visit our good friend Morris, and we are going to get the bus upgrade, or we could go get the greenhouse upgrade. If we get the bus, that means we can do an early desert festival, but we're going to go for the greenhouse. Reason being, it's strawberries every couple of days. The money is just too good to say no to. We have more kale. It shall be planted. We're going to water it up. It will take a while for us to water it, but very soon we will be able to make quality sprinklers, so the big watering grind will be over. We just got another skill up in fishing there, which was absolutely great. Level 10 fishing means we can now get fish worth 50% more. That's more money for us. It gets even better. The greenhouse has been complete, so we're going to hoe it up, and we're going to make little slots for where the quality sprinklers will go in the future, and we're going to put down all of our hard-earned strawberry seeds. Even on rainy days we will have to water up these seeds, but eventually the whole greenhouse will be filled up with nice quality sprinklers. Eventually we might have iridium sprinklers inside there. So we made it down to floor 90, we picked up the obsidian edge. We're going to visit Clint now today. It's time to upgrade it too. We're going to upgrade the pickaxe to a steel pickaxe. That means no mining for a couple of days. Instead, we are going to spend a lot of time fishing and foraging. If we want to delve into the mastery levels as quickly as possible, we need to max out all of our skills. So the next day starts with watering up the strawberries, and most days we'll start this way until we can make quality sprinklers. I decided to treat myself to an iridium rod along with a trap bobber, just to make some of those harder catfish much easier to catch. It just means more money for us in the long run. With the trap bobber equip, there isn't many fish in this entire game that can really challenge us that badly. 2 legend roe today, that will be converted. A steel pickaxe off Clint, which is pretty nice. We're not finished there though. He will now upgrade our copper axe to a steel axe. It just means we can cut down trees faster. We're going to sell boots and weapons that we're never going to use to Marlin just to get some extra money. There's no point just having them sit in our chest and take up precious space. We're then going to go back to the regular mines, make it down to floor 100, and we get our first star drop of the money making challenge. This will increase our maximum energy. Level 5 combat will take fighter. All attacks deal 10% more damage. So we're getting more skill ups today in mining. We're getting lots of gold ores. We're also coming across diamonds and rubies, which is absolutely magnificent. We make it down to floor 110. We pick up the space boots, which are very nice boots indeed. Level 6 mining means we can now make the bomb. And I can tell you right now, we're going to be making lots of bombs in this video. There's going to be at least 10 or maybe 15 Skull Cavern runs that we actually do in this video. Lots of Skull Cavern runs. The mushroom cave is great. We also get XP for harvesting the mushrooms. We also get a free dehydrator as well. Watering up the strawberries again, we get our steel axe off Clint. We're going to sell some gold bars to Clint to get us up to 16,000 gold. We're also going to go to Pierre. We're going to sell him all of the kale that we just farmed. This brings us up to a whopping 41,594 gold. We'll also sell a few other bits and bobs as well. Now, I could have purchased an absolute ton of kale, but I decided to get the bus upgrade instead and try my luck in the Skull Caverns. So that's going to be done the next day. All we need now is the skull key so we can enter the Skull Cavern. Because we have steel tools, we can get the alleyway buffet. We just have to get rid of the big giant tree log and the big huge stone slab. And that is a great book of power. It just means there's a higher chance to get items from trash cans. With the rest of our money, we're just going to purchase 106 parsnip seeds off Pierre. That will be a little more farming XP for us, and it'll be some more profits as well in our pockets. Now, we want to do Skull Cavern as quickly as possible. There's a few reasons for this. Iridium bars early on sell for huge amounts of money. Once we got to Skull Key, we didn't leave the mines. We went back to floor 95 and we just worked our way downwards again. We got very lucky here and we got a mushroom floor. So we picked up all the mushrooms, came across a few diamonds as well. We made room for those. We also get level 5 foraging. We're going to get gatherer, chance at a double harvest. That means that there's also a chance for double foraging XP. And at the moment, we're all about skill ups. We've 10,000 gold there now to play with because we sold some stuff to Pierre. We're going to visit Gus and we're going to purchase a lot of salads. This is going to be our primary healing foods when it comes to doing Skull Cavern runs. Salads are cheap and cheerful and they get the job done if you take some damage. We're also going to visit the desert trader. We're going to purchase some spicy eels and triple shot espressos along with some warp totems to the desert. We're also going to cut down every single tree inside the desert and we're going to go back to our farm, and because we have a pretty good axe, we are going to get rid of all of these tree stumps. We need to start collecting hardwood now because very soon we're going to be fixing up the boat and we're going to be thinking about Ginger Island, and there's a lot of money making opportunities over there. We're doing lots of fishing today and then we're doing bomb making. Iron ores and coal is what we need lots of, and lots of iron ores we are going to get. So we're getting lots of strawberries today. We get level 8 farming, which is nice. All of these strawberries will be sold for lots of money, and that's the great thing about having those strawberries there. Every 4 days we're going to get at least 15,000 gold. It's just really nice change to have when it comes to upgrades. If you want to purchase something off Robin, it's just nice to have that money come in every few days. Today is our first Skull Cavern run. We get very lucky. We get lots of shafts. And these shafts are very generous. We're getting 7 levels, 6 levels, sometimes we get 9 or 10 levels. We got a treasure room here, got a sapling inside. We're just going to sell that sapling because it's extra money. We also picked up some life elixirs. We end up selling those too. Most of the stuff we get we sell, but we're not going to sell this. A lucky ring. Oh no, that's going to go straight on our finger. You don't have to tell me twice. What a combination. A lucky ring and a small magnet ring. We also picked up a prismatic shard. We can swap that in for a huge weapon upgrade. So we did really well today in the Skull Caverns. Lots of iridium ores, prismatic shards, lucky rings, weapon upgrades. It was just a great day all around. We also got very close to level 9 mining, so mining is almost maxed out. Just a few more Skull Cavern runs and we'll get there. We got a skill up in foraging as well, which was nice, and we got some skill ups in combat. Level 8 mining means we can make mega bombs. Now, we didn't make a whole lot of money today because it was a Skull Cavern run. Just 25 gold from that rusty spur. Let's look at the loot we got from the Skull Cavern. 151 iridium ores, which is really nice. We're going to trade in that prismatic shard today for the galaxy sword. We're going to pick up all of the parsnips now on the farm. We're going to sell those for money. And we are going to smelt all of our iridium ores into iridium bars. And we're going to sell most of those. We'll keep a few as well though, because you never know when you might need an old iridium bar for something. So we're going to the desert today. That is the prismatic shard transformed into the galaxy sword. And now if we so wish, we can go to Marlin in the Adventurers Guild and we can purchase the galaxy hammer or the galaxy dagger. But we're just going to keep the sword for now. We're going to go to the secret woods and we're going to farm up all of the hardwood. It's also a great place to go for foraging XP, especially if you get forages on the ground like this. Today we made a nice total of 29,809 gold, primarily from selling iridium bars, aged roe and the parsnips. 10,000 gold today from Mr. Key because we made it past floor 30 in the Skull Caverns. Now you won't get that again, but it's nice to get that, especially in spring. We're now up on 64,000 gold. We also have 13 iridium bars to sell. What are we going to do? Another Skull Cavern run. We're going to hit it hard, folks. We're going to hit this file very hard. I just don't want to make 10 million gold on this file. I want to beat my personal record and I want to make millions. And if we're going to do that, we are going to have to hit Skull Cavern a lot. Thousands of iridium ores, thousands of kegs, thousands of starfruit, thousands of everything. And if we want to make that happen, we're going to have to grind, and just grind this poor farmer into the ground. So we're going to get the Dwarvish Translations Guide today. That's going to be very handy for us. We can get a very nice book of power that reduces bomb damage by 25%. We're also going to go to Clint he's going to break open all these omni geodes. And the only reason we're getting him to break open geodes now is to hopefully get more coal. We're really struggling for coal at the moment, and coal is expensive. It's 150 gold to buy it off Clint. We could farm dust sprites, but every single day is a vital day. We have to make the most of it. We can't spend too much time just fighting dust sprites. Level 7 foraging, we can now make 3 fertilizer. That was a priority goal, and that goal is now complete. 3 fertilizer means 3 farms, it means oak resin, it means kegs. 51,000 gold today. We got a purple slime egg there as well. That sells for over 5,000 gold, which is really nice. More strawberries to sell today. This puts us up to 144,000 gold, and it is the first day of summer. Let's go and purchase 359 starfruit seeds off Sandy, thank you very much. We are going to plant these fabulous seeds right down at our farm, and this is going to be more or less the tactic for the entirety of the file. It's going to be starfruit, because starfruit is still one of, if not the best ways to make money in this game. It is probably still the best way to make millions upon millions of gold. Sure, we can use all the mastery professions, which we will use to make extra money, but when it comes to making the huge amounts of money, you can't go wrong with an army of kegs and starfruit. So we just tree fertilized up some of our tree farms there, went down to the mines, got some gold ore, spoke with Clint, got a prize ticket for giving him the gold ore, thank you very much. We're then going to go back into the mines, and we are farming up coal and iron. We need iron for so many things. We need it for kegs, we need it for bombs, we need it for quality sprinklers. Iron is just so important to us. If I had the funds right now, I would probably buy iron off Clint just to dramatically speed up progression. But for now, we're just going to have to grind it out. We also need to cut down a lot more trees. We need to max out all of our skills, and we need to do it quickly. We're going to get Robin to make another fish pond, because we're going to go for another legendary fish today. This is the crimson fish, and it is the second most profitable legendary fish you can put in a fish pond. Now, it doesn't hold any sort of a tea towards the legend fish, but it still gives nice money every couple of days. So we just made a ton of gold here from smoking up super cucumbers, 1,125 gold. That's really nice money. If you get the rainy day in summer, we will absolutely go and fish up as many sturgeon as possible, and we're going to smoke those up. 900 gold per sturgeon. That's just absolutely amazing. If we get Artisan, we're going to get 40% more for those. But for now, we're just going to make some sturgeon bait using the bait maker and fish up an absolute ton of sturgeon. We're getting a merciful amount of money for it. So what you can really say now is that rainy days in spring are profitable, but rainy days in summer are even more profitable if you just stick to the sturgeons up in the lake. We're now going to sell even more strawberries to Pierre. It brings us up to almost 52,000 gold. It's back to Clint again, and we're going to get more tool upgrades. So we're chain upgrading our tools, because the higher quality our tools, the more work we can get done, the more time we can save. We're going to get the minecart upgrades. We really need the fast travel. It's going to save a lot of time, and in this game, in this file, we're fighting against time. We need to make millions of gold before the end of the first year. We've got 20,000 gold left to our name. Let's go visit a good friend, the dwarf. Let's purchase the Dwarvish Safety Manual. Bombs, no deal. Slightly less damage to us, which is great. And the reason why I get this is because I'm always hitting myself with my own bombs. I'm terrible for it. I plant down bombs, I get caught in the explosion, and I take so much damage. To be honest, I reckon I take more damage from my own bombs than I do from the enemies when I do Skull Cavern runs. So that book of power is a bit of a game changer for me. So that's Morris and his team fixing up the minecarts. We're doing another Skull Cavern run the very next day. Now, these Skull Cavern runs, every single one of them has been highly profitable for me. I've done Skull Cavern so many times, I'm very comfortable in here. I now even have a galaxy sword, so none of these enemies stand any speck of a chance. Any enemy I see, I'll kill it in just a couple of swings. I get lots of combat XP. These enemies also drop amazing items. I just picked up 4 quality sprinklers there in a treasure chest. That's absolutely amazing. Made it down to floor 100, we pick up a peach sapling. It goes for 1,500 gold. We'll just sell it. We end up getting tons of prismatic shards and iridium ores today. Because we're also past floor 100, we're seeing a lot more iridium nodes. Basically, we're seeing a lot more of everything. That's great for us. It's more money, more prismatic shards, Now I sell most of my prismatic shards for the money. I'm going to take the blacksmith of course, metal bars were 50% more. That's a no-brainer right there. Now we have over 200 iridium ores. We've got diamonds, we've got 5 prismatic shards. I mean, we could hold on to those prismatic shards, get magic rock candies. There's no point. They're worth 2,000 gold a pop. We're going to sell them. We could make the argument that taking a magic rock candy could yield a lot more profits for us in the Skull Cavern. But to be fair, I'm happy enough with the spicy eel. I also have a lucky ring as well, which is nice. So we're just going to leave it like that. Any prismatic shards we get going forward, we just sell them. I made 24 tappers today. That used up a lot of the copper bars I had been collecting. Not to worry, we did pick up a few extra ores in the Skull Caverns. We get our gold axe today, but we're not finished. We're now going to give in our pickaxe and get that upgraded to a gold. While that pickaxe has been upgraded, we're going to make full use of this axe. Because it's a gold, it only takes 4 swings to take down a tree, so we can get lots of foraging XP this way. But what we really want is the iridium axe, because that takes down a tree in just 2 swings and the tree stump in just 1 swing. Today we made a huge amount of money, 65,000 gold. Now this is primarily from aged roe, aged legend roe, 10,120 gold, and lots of iridium bars and other bits and bobs we got in the Skull Caverns. There's 4 prismatic shards thrown there too, that comes to 8,000 gold. So it just goes to show that doing regular Skull Cavern runs is highly profitable. We're back in the secret woods today, breaking open tree stumps, trying to get as much hardwood and foraging XP as possible. Knocking down all these trees finally yielded some decent items. We got the Woody Secret, a 5% chance to yield double the wood. That's going to come in fierce handy in this challenge because we are going to be knocking down lots of trees. We're also going to fix the bridge so we can do quarry runs as well. The quarry cave has some really nice stuff in it, but more importantly, there's a lot we can do with the actual quarry itself. There's a lot of free tiles available once we have all the debris cleared off. So another help wanted quest completed there. We're now going to spend our evening fishing up as many super cucumbers as possible. Walking around with the bait maker and the fish smoker is a great way to make some easy money. Once we put super cucumber bait into our fishing rod, it becomes a very common fish. You're not guaranteed to get it every time, but you have a very high chance to get a super cucumber over any other fish, and they're just so profitable. So this is just Mars and his team fixing up the bridge. We can now venture into the quarry the next day if we so wish. 40,000 gold today, primarily from smoked super cucumbers and more iridium bars we got from the Skull Cavern. It doesn't matter how many times I go into this greenhouse to harvest these strawberries, it just never gets old. Every 4 days we get to harvest these, and it's just a great moneymaker. We are going to start donating stuff to Gunther now because we need to get into the sewers to get more goodies down there. More specifically, we need to get at the Wizard's Terminal because later on in the challenge, we want to start buying all of the high tier items, and the farm does look really nice when we start putting those items on the farm. We're getting another tool upgrade today. We're going to upgrade our pickaxe all the way to an iridium pickaxe. It just means we can one-shot the nodes inside the Skull Cavern. We get a good bit of coal today and other valuable ores. We're breaking open geodes, which is nice. The final Georgia development project was panning, so we get that done. And now we can start panning up stuff. We can upgrade our pan. A lot more options available to us when it comes to making money. We just completed more help wanted quests. We now have 5 prize tickets. And the reason why I was aiming for 5 is because I just wanted to nab that handy star drop tea. It's a universal loved gift that does not use a gift cooldown, and it even gives 250 friendship points, which is the equivalent of 1 heart. If you give it on someone's birthday, well, that's a lot more hearts for you. For the rest of the day, we are going to use our bait maker and our smoker and pull up as many fish as possible. Getting bubbles like this is a game changer because the bite rate happens so quick. You're saving a ton of time, especially on single player mode. You wouldn't believe the amount of fish you can pull up if you get bubbles for the entirety of the day. A lot of fish. Level 10 farming finally, we're going to get Artisan. 40% more for Artisan goods. That includes aged raw. And it also includes smoked fish. So we are now going to see significant increases in a lot of the daily activities that we partake in. The fish ponds are now worth a lot more money, including the fish. We're now getting 7,084 gold for an aged legend raw and 2,184 gold for an aged crimson fish roll. That is some pretty good money, and that, my friends, is more or less a good passive money maker. Now, we decided to get a slime hutch built. The only reason for this is so that slimes have a chance to drop eggs, because a lot of the slime eggs sell for huge amounts of money. Even the green slime eggs sell for 1,000 gold a piece. And the slime hutch is now really small. What more, we can actually use the slime hutch as a shed. We can put cakes inside it if we want. So it has multiple benefits. Despite the fact that we didn't have our pickaxe today, we just used regular bombs and mega bombs and literally bombed the path ahead to get the golden scythe, teleported back outside, and we're greeted with a wonderful cutscene here of Morris and the lads giving us a Joja machine. That's a free Joja cola every single day. We also added our gold star cauliflower to the soup here just to get the best reaction from the governor. That gives us friendship points all around, which is really nice, and we need friendship points, especially with Robin, so we can learn the drum and the flute block. We need the block for Ginger Island later to get some more golden walnuts, so I'm just thinking ahead. We get our iridium pickaxe off Clint, and we're now going to fix up the boat to Ginger Island as well. We need to start thinking about setting up that second farm, filling it up with starfruit, but first we need to be making a lot more money before we can go over there. We only have 102,000 gold on at the moment. We need to think about purchasing more starfruit when we harvest the first batch. Now we are going to fill up the quarry with lots of seeds today, maple seeds at the bottom, and we're going to get oak trees at the top so we can get lots of oak resins. The next day we get a rainy day, but more importantly, look at all the coffee we're now harvesting. We're also getting lots of aged raw, which is really nice as well. The starfruits are also almost ready for harvest, just one more day should do it. So we're going to do another Skull Cavern run today. Reason being, it's just a great way to make money. More Skull Cavern runs we do, the more iridium bars we are going to get. Who knows, we might get something really nice in these treasure chests as well. For example, 5 more mega bombs. You know what? I've gotten worse, like the cowboy hats. I also picked up an auto grabber. Now when I got the auto grabber, I just thought for a second, should I get some animals? I said no, because I want to use literally every single tile on my farm for a crop, for maximum efficiency, maximum profit. For the rest of the day, it's just Skull Cavern. We got a prismatic shard here too, which was nice, so we just thrown away some sap for that. We can now harvest all of these lovely starfruit. We are going to get so much money for these. Now, there's multiple ways we can go about this. We can keep them all, and we can slowly but surely turn them into starfruit wines. We can put the whole lot of them into seed makers, get back even more starfruit, plant those. Or, option C, which I'm going to do right now, I'm going to sell most of them to Pierre, and I'm going to keep some and put those into cakes. Reason being, we only have a very small handful of cakes right now. There's no point having over 100 or 200 starfruit just sitting in your chest doing nothing. So we might as well sell a batch now, get more money, buy more starfruit, and keep a few pieces to turn into starfruit wine. And that's what we're doing right here. So 81 regular pieces, we had like 160, so I've got about 80 pieces of starfruit in a chest ready to be converted. We do have 430,000 gold. We're now going to go back to Sandy with that, and we're going to spend all of that on a full stack and then some of starfruit seeds. And it is only the 14th of summer, year 1. Wait until you see the amount of money we make at the end of this challenge. It is absolutely insane. It is insanity. Now today was a very hard day. It was very stressful. I had to clear away the weeds, hoe up the ground, and I had to plant all of these seeds. It was a lot of seeds to plant, a lot of ground I had to hoe up, and I even had to make more sprinklers so I can automate the process. To speed up time, I very carefully put down some mega bombs to save me a lot of in-game hours hoeing up the ground. And this saved me quite a lot of time. Thankfully it was raining today, so I didn't have to worry about watering up the crops. I'm not going to lose out on a day. Now if I did, it wouldn't be the end of the world, because today's the 14th, it takes the starfruit seed 13 days, so I would have an extra day's grace anyway before fall rolls in. Now I did make some iridium sprinklers today because I had the battery packs from getting the thundery days. I also had lots of iridium bars and I had gold bars to spare. So I said, why not? If I make iridium sprinklers, it just means more space for crops, and that means a lot more profit for me. I also took a spicy eel and I also took a triple shot espresso so my cart would run faster so I could plant seeds a lot faster. It was 12 o'clock, and I knew it there and then I wasn't going to get all these planted today. I was going to have to plant the rest of them tomorrow, but I would try my absolute best to plant as many as I could. Now, in all fairness, I gave it a good go. Eventually, it got to 150 and my character passed out, but we passed out fighting, and we almost got there. Now, I think there was about 200 seeds left that we didn't get planted, but it's not the end of the world. I'll just plant those tomorrow on the 15th, and I get to harvest those then on the last day of summer. So it's going to be alright. Now, the next day, I had to hoe up more ground. I'm also getting more iridium bars here as well, which is nice. We have 15,000 gold, but that's going to shoot up very quickly. And what you're going to see now in the next few in-game weeks is huge amounts of money coming in once we start selling the Starfruit wine, and once we buy even more Starfruit, once we get Ginger Island set up. We're also going to see a lot more kegs being made. So we only made 28 right now, but eventually we're going to have huge tree farms generating huge amounts of oak resins. At the moment, the bottleneck, believe it or not, is oak resin, so we need more tree farms. I'm going to put all these kegs outside because I'm not too sure yet what I want to do with the farm. And so I just want to have as much space as possible to play around with. I made 54,000 gold today, primarily from selling aged raw and iridium bars, the usual culprits. We're going to get an iridium axe upgrade. We all know by now how grindy it is, how painful it is to get foraging up to level 10. Since the 1.6 hit, picking up foraging as you grow on your farm, the XP that you used to get was great, but now it's been nerfed to the ground. And it's just so hard now to get foraging up to 10. It has to be probably the hardest profession to max out. Definitely. But that's just my opinion. You only get 14 XP for knocking down a tree. I know you get a bit more for the tree stumps, but you can't mass produce tree stumps, unfortunately. We do make 45 more tappers today, and we also get a monster eradication goal complete for wiping out insects. Now, you're going to see lots of insect slaying in this video, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. You'll see why later on. We exploit a lot of the trinkets in this game. We exploit a lot of the masteries to make as much money as possible. Now, we don't go as far as cheating. We're just very good at exploiting things. We're getting more tool upgrades off the Great Clint himself. And today, we're going to run around, pick up some forageables and cut down as many trees as we can. We have a foraging skill of 8 at the moment. We really need to be getting that up to 10. So let's, first of all, try to aim for foraging level 9 and then see where that takes us. We're going to wipe out all these mahogany trees. The more hardwood, the better, of course. We do have a tree stump just outside that has to be fixed. It requires 100 pieces of hardwood, so we want to get that done and dusted as quickly as possible. Lots of trees out in Cindersap Forest, just ripe for the taking. To be honest, even if we had maxed out foraging, we would be doing this anyway because we need wood to make kegs. One keg requires 80 wood. That's 800 pieces of wood for 10 kegs, so you lose wood very quickly when you start mass producing kegs. It's the first thing to go normally, despite the fact that you might have a few bits of copper bars and iron bars. Wood just goes so much faster because it is 80 pieces a go. We are now going to talk to Robin. It's time for another construction. This time we're going to go with a shed, but we're just going to put one shed on the farm because it just means putting all those kegs in one place is a lot tidier, so they're not scattered all over the place. If we scatter them out too much, put them in all like nooks and crannies over Pelican Town, it will take much longer to harvest all of the wine. So when you factor in time, it does make sense to put a shed on the farm. So we're going to get our pan upgraded. We will try to get that upgraded all the way to an iridium pan. The reason why we're not upgrading the hoe right now is because we basically need our hoe. We are going to purchase in or around 2,000 wheat seeds. We're going to fill up the farm with wheat. Reason being, we don't want to have to re-hoe the ground when fall comes in. We just want to buy the pumpkins, put them down, off on our merry way to the Skull Caverns or Ginger Island or wherever we want to go. Now, we will save time and we will use our mega bombs to hoe up huge portions of the ground. We do run out of mega bombs and we just use regular bombs here as well. This saves me huge amounts of time. I am going to make a lot more quality sprinklers, 25 for now. I actually ran out of gold bars, so I am going to have to smelt more of those. For the rest of the day, we're just going to hoe up the ground and we're going to plant as much wheat as possible. Now, it's only the 21st. We have lots of time to get this done, but the reason why I'm starting now is because I have over 2,000 pieces of wheat to get through. I'm also going to get Robin to build the mill so we can turn that wheat into flour and then turn that flour into bread for some really nice profits. I also purchased iron ores off Clint because I'm desperate. I need more iron bars to make more kegs, to make more sprinklers. At the moment, I'm just bottlenecked with iron, so I'm going to use my money and I'm going to buy some. Now, I'm going to get that money back very easily. I do have strawberries after all. I've got aged raw, so I can get that back literally within the blink of an eye. So it's not a big deal if I have to go to Clint in this file and purchase whether it be coal, iron ores or copper ores. We're now going to upgrade our hoe to a steel hoe. What we really want, especially to start the fall, is a gold hoe at the very least. We're going to fix up the tree stump. This is going to give a nice cozy home to our raccoon friend, and now the raccoon will start giving us really cool quests once he moves into the tree stump. We're now going to farm floor 81 for the whole day. This floor is great for gold, it's great for stone, it's great for killing enemies, it's great for fibre. Basically, it's great for a lot of resources that we really need. We need lots of gold to make more quality sprinklers, and we need lots of fibre so we can make more tree fertilizers. We finally get the green rain day. This day is a blessing for us. We are going to spend the whole day cutting down trees and destroying weeds. We get a lot of foraging XP today. Now, we don't max out our foraging skill, but we make huge progress. We get very close to maxing it out. We're also going to get lots of fibre today. We're going to get hundreds and hundreds of fibre. We also make some nice money today as well. We made 18,000 gold. We sold a lot of fiddlehead ferns today. We sold some edge raw as well. The next day we're going to pick up some more strawberries. They're just coming in so handy, that 12 to 15,000 gold. We're getting our steel hoe off Clint today. We're going to talk to him again, and we're going to upgrade that hoe to a gold hoe because it's the 24th of summer now. Most of our crops have been set up, so it's the best time now to get the hoe upgraded. We're now setting up the quarry, and look at all these lovely oak resins that we get to collect. We're going to talk to the raccoon. He's hungry, he wants fish. He wants 5 crayfish and a smoked largemouth bass. The bass will be easy enough, but I will need to make crab pots to get all those crayfish that he wants. That's going to take a couple of days, but we'll get back to him and we'll complete some of those quests. We're going to talk to Robin. We are going to get Robin to make the big shed. It just means we can put more kegs inside it. The more kegs we can put into that shed now, the better. We're going to go down to the beach today. We're very close to getting level 10 foraging today. We literally just need maybe 100 foraging XP. So we're going to go into the tide pool area. We're going to pick up all the forageables. We finally got level 10 foraging. All we need now to get into the mastery tiers is level 10 combat. Combat is also, it can be quite tricky to get up because you have to engage in combat, of course, to increase. But not to worry, a good few runs through the Skull Caverns or into the regular mines will see us there. Level 10 foraging, we're going to get botanist. All items we pick up off the ground, mostly anyway, all items, will be of iridium quality. That means more money for us. 18,000 gold there, primarily from selling strawberries. Look at all of the wheat we get to harvest today. Now we are going to get our lovely golden scythe and we are going to harvest every single piece of that wheat. It's only the 25th, so we can harvest it now. We can put down fresh wheat and then we can harvest that at the start of fall and make even more money. You should never underestimate the power of wheat. Not only does it make a fantastic placeholder, so you don't have to re-hoe your ground in fall, but if you convert it into flour and convert that into bread, you're making huge profits. What's more, wheat is probably one of the cheapest crops to buy, so you can purchase thousands of wheat if you have a real nice summer. So I picked up the largemouth bass today, we smoked it up with the raccoon and straight back down into the Skull Caverns because we need a lot more resources. I got 13 levels today from a hole. That was really lucky. I know they're called shafts, but look, I call them holes. That's just the way it is. Sometimes I do try to say shafts, but look, it's just the way I'm wired. Basically, it is a hole in the ground, right? Now, I was picking up lots of diamonds today. 2 diamonds popped out of a slime there, not 1. The reason why 2 popped out was because of the Book of Power, the Monster Compendium. That's why it's such a great book. Now, I got 2 iridium sprinklers in a treasure room today. They will be put to magnificent use. We're now past floor 100 in Skull Caverns. Lots of iridium ores to get, lots of prismatic shards to collect, lots of money to be made. So you're probably wondering now, what are we going to do with all this built up money? Well, it's quite simple. We still need lots of money to buy more Starfruit. Once summer ends, that's not going to be the end of the starfruit. You're going to see it being harvested over on Ginger Island. We also need money for at least 2,000 pumpkins, because we want to fill up the farm with pumpkins. It's now day 27. Most of the starfruit has come to fruition, but there's still a good bulk of starfruit that hasn't. Now, hear me out. We're not going to harvest any of the starfruit today. And the reason for it is that our combat skill is not maxed out, but it's very close to being maxed out. We get our gold hoe today. If we max out combat today, all of that starfruit will go towards mastery levels tomorrow. So I'm going to go to the regular mines today. I'm going to take a spicy eel so I get a movement bonus. And I am going to wipe out as many enemies as possible in the hopes to get my combat skill to 10. If I can get my combat skill to 10 today, I will get at the very minimum 2 mastery levels tomorrow. Now at this moment in time, I'm not quite sure what mastery levels I will pick, but I'll pick something good and I'll pick something profitable. We do get level 10 combat. We're going to go with Brute, deal 15% more damage, and that 15% damage goes a long way. We're going to wake up the next day. It is the 28th of summer, the final day of summer, and we're going to pick up by hand, which is so painful, all of these starfruit. Now we are going to get an absolute ton of XP for picking up all these starfruit. There is well over 1,000 pieces of starfruit that we're going to pick up today. We're also going to pick up the strawberries as well, and this will also count towards mastery levels. And we are also going to collect all of this lovely starfruit wine. Now you're going to see a lot more starfruit wine as the weeks progress. We're going to start smelting up more bars now because we have to make more kegs. The Dance of the Moonlight jellies will have to wait until next year, I'm afraid, because we're just too busy making kegs today. We made 60 kegs. We're going to put them to good use. This is our big shed, and as we can see, it's almost kitted out with kegs, but there's still a good few more kegs we can put in here. We are now going to convert all of our flour into bread. Look at all the bread we get to make. Absolutely insane. 967 pieces of bread good to go. Let's see how much money we're going to make today. Now we're going to sell all this. 245,000 gold. Let's look at the breakdown. Starfruit wine 166,000 gold. The rest come from strawberries. That's not bad at all. You will see a significant increase in the number of starfruit wines we sell going forward. Now we do have 2 levels in mastery, so we can get 2 advanced perks, which is really nice. The first thing we're going to do though is we're going to harvest all of this wheat. It is the first day of fall. We are now officially halfway through the challenge. We are going to purchase an absolute mountain of pumpkins today. We're basically just going to get 2,000 pumpkin. That normally is enough to fill up the standard farm. You could probably get a little bit more than that, but look, we'll work with 2,000 for now. Now the next 2 days are probably the most stressful days in the entire challenge. I have a gold hoe. I literally spend the whole day doing this. And I don't even get to plant all of the pumpkins today. I just didn't have enough time. The next day we're going to visit Sandy. We are going to purchase as many starfruit seeds as possible. 612. And they are going to make their way over to Ginger Island very soon. Now for the first mastery tier, we're going to pick up Combat Mastery. Because if we get the Parrot Trinket early, we can make lots of money from killing monsters. We're also going to get the Farming Mastery. That Iridium Scythe is going to save us a lot of time. We also get the option, the possibility of getting golden animal crackers, and they will dramatically upgrade our legendary fishing ponds. We're now going to take the boat down to Ginger Island. Now I have done the Ginger Island Gauntlet hundreds of times. I know exactly where every single golden walnut is. I'm going to very quickly run around the map and I'm going to collect them all. Now I don't get all of them because, you know, some of them you need year 2. For example, if you talk to that old woman, she sends you on that quest to give items to people and they give you items and you gotta trade those items to other people and so on and so forth. But we get most of the golden walnuts around here and we do get enough to fix up the house so we can sleep here. We don't need the tents that you get in the other area. To be honest, I never pick them up because I don't need them. Now, I'm going to try to fill this farm up with iridium sprinklers and starfruit. And that's all you're going to see here, bar the melon, the garlic and the wheat, which is needed for the frog quest to get 15 golden walnuts. Other than that, it's just going to be starfruit and iridium sprinklers. We're now going to go to Pierre. I'm going to sell him some bread and some strawberries. We're straight back up to 79,000 gold. we're going to go and we are going to buy some books. We're going to get Way of the Wind Part 1 for 15,000 gold. We're going to activate that straight away. That's going to give us a permanent movement buff. Now, once you activate that book, Way of the Wind Part 2 will become available straight away. We're going to pick that up for 35,000 gold. These books are well worth it, trust me. That permanent increase you get to movement, that saves you time, and time in Stardew Valley is money. So we get the gold pan off Clint. We're going to give that back in straight away, and we're going to upgrade it all the way to the iridium pan. The iridium pan should not be underestimated. It is a magnificent tool for gathering resources. It's also the best way to pick up a lucky ring if you really need one. We finished another quest for the raccoon. We get 25 broccoli seeds. I'm just going to sell those. I'm not going to waste precious crop tiles and broccoli. We need to use pumpkins and starfruit to make the most money. I'm at 453 pieces of tree fertilizer today. And believe it or not, all of that will be used. So we're going to make more tree farms because we need more oak resins. We need hundreds more, thousands. We need to make so many kegs that when we get a huge amount of starfruit, we can convert that straight away. The last thing we want is to finish up this challenge with thousands of starfruit just lying inside a chest. We're also going to visit Shrine again today, and we're going to chop down every single tree on this island for more wood so we can make more kegs. At the moment, we have 25,000 gold. You're going to see that figure transcend into the hundreds of thousands and very soon into the millions once we start really selling tons of starfruit wine. Lots of money made today though from iridium bars. A lot can be said for continuous Skull Cavern runs. So we're going to get lots of golden walnuts today inside of the volcano dungeon. There's 17 golden walnuts we can get here in total. 2 from the chest, 5 from combat, 5 from breaking open ores, and 5 from those caches that you get to break open as well. We also get our very first trinket, the ice rod. Now this ice rod shoots an orb every 4.6 seconds and it freezes enemies for well over 3 seconds, which is really nice, especially nice at handling those sprites because it stops their movement. It makes them really easy to defeat. So it's a very nice trinket to have, very handy. It can stop multiple enemies at once as well. We picked up lots of golden walnuts today. I was very happy about that. We also got some new weapon types as well, such as the dwarvish weapons, but we do have our galaxy sword, so we're going to hold on to that and enchant it. We get the vampiric enchant for it. We're also going to put a ruby into it as well, with the leftover shards that we got, just to ever so slightly increase its attack power. We're also going to free Professor Snail, and we're going to start his archaeology side quest to get more golden walnuts. What we want to do now is get down into Key's secret walnut room as quickly as possible. This challenge, a lot of it is banking on the potential to get the extended family quest. If that quest pops up, I'm going to show you the true potential of fishing. So let's cross our fingers and hope to God we get the extended family quest when we make it to Key's secret walnut room. For now, we are going to buy a full stack of copper ore, and we're also going to get lots more iron ore as well so we can bang out a lot more kegs. We're also going to go to Robin, and I was going to get another shed, but I just realised I didn't have enough gold for any 65 gold. So yeah, my bad, I do make mistakes. Not to worry, I did make 372,000 gold today, primarily from selling starfruit wine. So if I want to get the shed, I can get it the next day if I so wish. The next day, we get to harvest even more strawberries, but this time, we get to use our lovely iridium scythe. That makes harvesting an absolute breeze, and it is such a magnificent saver of time. Now, I'm going to get rid of all these maple syrup trees. These tappers will now be put on oak trees to make oak resins. See, my original plan was to set up some bee houses and get some Pharaoh's honey going, but to be honest, it's just not going to beat the potency of starfruit. So we're just going all in starfruit, and all these trees will just be generating more oak resins. I also hold up a Jack Be Nimble, Jack Be Thick Book of Power. This gives a permanent +1 to defense. It makes a difference, especially for the harder hitting enemies. So it was nice to get that now, especially for those iridium bats that still hit like trucks. We're going to get Robin to make another fish pond for us today. Reason being, we have a lot more legendary fish we need to pull up out of the waters. We still have the anglerfish, the glacier fish, and the mutant carp. We did some panning today to see if we get anything good. I pulled up 9 iridium ores from that panning spot, just like that, along with some coal and omni geodes. The iridium pan is absolutely amazing. Because we have slayed over 1000 monsters, we get to swing into the back room here of the Adventurers Guild and pick up the Mapping Cave Systems Book of Power. This gives us a 50% discount on Marlin's item recovery service. We're then going to take a stroll on down here to the waterfall, and we're going to pull up the angler, and that is another legendary fish we get to put into a newly built fish pond. That'll be ready in a couple of days. We're on Ginger Island today. We're just cutting down more trees to get more wood. Any coconuts or other things we pick up, we're just going to sell those. Now, we are going to clear this whole area today. We get our first golden animal cracker. Praise Yoba. We are going to put that into our legend fish pond, and that is going to make us a lot more money. We also get the fossilized spine, and we get the fossilized tail as well today. We need those for Professor Snail's archaeology side quest. The next day, we are going to get 4 pieces of legend raw. This is going to make some crazy money for us. We also get lots of crimson fish raw as well. We have more preserve jars now, and we need these because of the increased amount of raw that we seem to be getting all the time. We're also going to put the angler into its new pond. It even gets a sign like the rest of the fish, and that water will change colour the next day as well. We are going to pick up a community quest. We're going to go with Cave Patrol. We just have to wipe out 50 skeletons, not a problem at all. But to be honest, I just wanted a reason to collect some nice bone shards. If we get a bone mill later on, we can get some very nice things, including 3 fertilizers and deluxe speed grows from those bone mills. We're also hunting down even more golden walnuts on Ginger Island. I'm also setting up more tree farms up here as well. Now, the little tree farm I set up here, a lot of it gets destroyed, because when I fix up the beach area, the people that come over on the boat, they walk into some of the trees and they demolish them. So, I learned that the hard way. But not to worry, they only demolish a few trees, not the whole lot. So we still get to harvest lots of oak resins from that area in the near future. Today, we are just doing some good old-fashioned skeleton slaying. If we see iron nodes, we're going to pick them up straight away as well, because iron is something we need constantly. We're tapping up more trees for oak resins, and we're back down the next day to kill more skellies. Dust sprites are always an added bonus, of course. We will never ever say no to coal or iron, ever. Period. Once all the skellies are dead, I thought for a split second I was going to get the bone mill, but I was wrong. We get a geode crusher instead, and it was just such a pain. And what threw me off was the fact that I had to kill skeletons. So I got it mixed up with the quest Gunther gives you. It's called Fragments of the Past, and you have to collect bone fragments for that. So yeah, there you have it. I don't actually end up using the geode crushers at all. I just go to Clint and he breaks them open. Is that like you're wasting time because time freezes when he's breaking open the geodes? So we purchased more salads today, and I also got the recipe for the triple shot espresso. I also going to take on the island survey today as well, and it's the same figures all the time regardless of how many new files you start. It's always going to be the same figures for the purple starfish and so on and so forth. I also had all of the other artifacts collected for Professor Snail, so we're going to donate all those now straight away, and this is going to give us an absolute ton of golden walnuts. Now, we still don't have enough to get into Key's secret walnut room, but we will very soon, especially once we get the 15 off the frog and the 5 off of all the crops we get to pull up from the ground. We are going to get lots of iron bars today. They'll be put to great use. We're also going to pick up lots of oak resins as well. Now, you're going to see a trend here now kind of going forward of collecting oak resins, smelting bars, cutting down trees, making kegs, making starfruit wine, refilling all the starfruit seeds in Ginger Island, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. That's kind of the general strategy here when it comes to making millions upon millions upon millions. But the question is, how much starfruit wine can we pump out before we get to the end of the year? So we're going to purchase all of the skill books to get more mastery XP. We're also going to get more books of power as well, just for the sake of having them. Now, Horse the Book isn't going to do us much favours. It's more so for the collection, because I like to collect things. What we really want was the old slither legs, so we can move through crops faster. That's really nice. We also have 2 green stars there as well. That just indicates we have 2 mastery levels. If we get to mastery level 5, we'll have 5 green stars, so the wallet just looks a little bit nicer. Lots of aged road today, which is great. Over 20,000 gold will be made from selling that lovely aged legend roll. We're farming up more strawberries, and we're also whacking trees here for moss. Reason being, I want to make a statue of blessings as soon as possible. You can get some amazing perks off that statue. We're now almost halfway through fall and the run's going pretty well, but we're now entering into the territory of huge money, so just prepare yourself for that. Robin will upgrade our house so we can put more kegs inside. Clint will break open more geodes in the hopes that we can get Gunther to visit our farm and give us the key to the sewers, because we really need to get that magical ink so we can get access to the wizard's terminal. We want to get all of the juicy stuff at the end of the challenge, and we will get all of that stuff, if not more, when you see the amounts of money we start making. Now here is a scene that you're going to see a lot. It's me filling up kegs with Starfruit. This is the bulk of the challenge, people. It's filling up kegs with Starfruit. But look at the money. 657,000 gold. We're only in year 1 here, and this is the kind of money we're making right now. The strawberries aren't really holding their own anymore, so eventually we will sacrifice our strawberries and fill up the greenhouse with Starfruit just to make a higher profit. Now don't get me wrong, the strawberries are absolutely magnificent, but when you're making money, like 500,000, 600,000 gold, you kinda have to say bye to the strawberries and upgrade to the next tier, which is Starfruit. Gunther finally paid us a visit the next day. He will give us the key to the sewers, and that means we can now get access to the wizard's terminal. Look at all these fabulous pumpkins. What you see here is a pumpkin farm. And if you can get a pumpkin farm like this in your first year, let me know in the comments. I would also love to know, if you made it this far in the video, your own money making tactics. What do you do to make lots of money in this game? What are your favourite methods? Let me know in the comments. I would absolutely love to have a conversation with you. So we just reached a new level of understanding today. It just means we get a new mastery level, so we can select another advanced perk. Now it took us a while to harvest all these pumpkins today, but we are going to get an absolute ton of money from these. Look at that, we're almost halfway there to level 4 mastery, which is absolutely magnificent. Now we're going to sell all these pumpkins to Pierre, and that's going to bring us right up to 1,300,000. Now we're going to buy more pumpkin seeds. We're only halfway through fall, so we're going to get another stack of pumpkin seeds. We're going to plant these back down and we're going to get even higher profits. Now it does take us the majority of the day. I do use the spicy eel and triple shot espresso to make myself go faster. We do pay Krobus a visit. We will purchase his lovely star drop. That's going to increase our maximum energy. We will also purchase a void egg, because fishing up the void mayonnaise to give to the henchman, that's become incredibly rare. We picked up a level 4 parrot egg today. Thank you, Yoba. We can now get tons of money off killing enemies. Goodbye, Ice Rod. You served us well, but the parrot will now be with us for the rest of the playthrough. The parrot, especially the level 4 parrot, is totally overpowered. It has a very high chance to extract money from defeated monsters. You can get anywhere from 250 gold to 750 gold. If the Monster Compendium Book of Power activates, you can get double that. If you combine that with a monster musk and other bits and pieces, you can make, I'm not joking, hundreds of thousands of gold, 200,000 gold plus easily in a single day if you just start wiping out easy monsters like dust sprites or grubs or things like that. You can just make crazy money altogether. It's probably one of the most overpowered money making trinkets in the game. So we just got level 4 mastery there, lots more pumpkins we get to sell. We get to choose another mastery tier, which is really nice. We almost have 2 million gold as well, which is great. Now we're going to purchase one last batch of pumpkin seeds. We'll get 1,000 as per usual, and we're going to plant that straight back down again. The great thing is we don't even have to water these pumpkins up. We just plant them, leave them for the rest of the season, and just use our iridium site to get them at the end. We get the magical ink today, which is great. We can now access the wizard's terminal. So if we so wish, we can now get the warp obelisks to make lives a lot easier. We won't get them right now, we might get them later. We're going to pick up the Foraging mastery, chance to find golden mystery boxes. You can get some really good stuff from those. We're also going to get the mining mastery. The mining mastery is just so good. Every single item there is amazing. Gem brain rocks can now give you double. The fishing mastery I'm leaving to the last, and the only reason I'm doing that is because I have not gotten the extended family quest yet. We haven't gotten into Key's secret walnut room, but hopefully we'll get there. I'm going to make heavy furnaces. These will make very short work to stacks of ore that you can put into these. They're absolutely amazing. Just look at all this ore it consumes. Each one will give me back at least 5 bars, which is great. We're going to make some triple shot espressos, 15 there in total. I will now start taking triple shot espressos every few hours just to increase my movement speed so I can get around faster and make more out of the day. We get first place after Stardew Valley Fair, and we're going to gamble the 1000 star tokens we get, purchase the Starfruit, and we're just going to leave. The reason why I went to the fair is because I'm just waiting on most things, waiting for the pumpkins to grow, waiting for the Starfruit to grow, waiting for the kegs to convert into Starfruit wine. We're going to get the Juicy Bugs Wanted quest. Now, the only reason I'm doing that is because I want to show you the power of the parrot, how much money we can make with it. I'm going to purchase huge amounts of Starfruit today. We're just going to get a full stack. We are also going to talk to the frog because all of our fruits have fully grown up. He's going to give us 5 golden walnuts each, one for the melon, one for the garlic, and one for the wheat, which is really nice. That's going to be 15. We're now going to use our iridium scythe as well, and we're going to scythe away all of the star footage island, and that's going to give us 5 more golden walnuts, and that should be just about enough to get into Key's secret walnut room, so we can start doing the Mr. Key quests. Now, fingers crossed, we will get the extended family quest. If we get that, you can expect us to make, I'd say, at least 5 extra million at the end of the challenge. That's how overpowered that quest is right now, with the current fishing buffs that you can get in the game. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to make a video on it soon. I'm going to show you just how stupid fishing is right now. Unfortunately, we didn't get the fishing quest today. We took Key's cuisine instead. We have lots of coffee beans, so we just have to make 100,000 gold worth of cooking items, freshly cooked items, so we'll get that done in the next day or two. Now, today was Thursday, which means Sandy has the nice sale on Deluxe Speed Grow, 80 gold a pop. We're going to fill up Ginger Island with that. We're also going to get a house upgraded again from Robin, just so we can put more kegs in the house. The Speed Grow is essential. It's 25% off of the total time it takes for a Starfruit to grow, so it brings it right down to 9 days, and because of that, we're able to get a lot more harvests before the year finishes. That means we can make a lot more wine, a lot more money. So today we are wiping out bugs. We're getting lots of bug meat and we are getting tons of money. I mean, just look at that money. 250 gold, 500 gold, 1250 gold. It just stacks so nicely on top of each other. Some floors can give you anywhere between 5,000 and 10,000 gold, depending on how many enemies are in those floors. So, I mean, it's just a ridiculous money-making trinket. I absolutely love it. So we're just filling up more kegs today. We got our 100 bug meat, plus a little bit more. That is another community quest done, 3,000 gold, plus a prize ticket. We're going to make lots more triple shot espressos today, 45 in total. Now, we still need to make a lot more if we're going to get those lovely valuable key gems. So eventually we will have to go to Gus and purchase some coffees to turn into triple shot espressos. We do complete another raccoon quest and we get a new book of power. This is called the Raccoon Journal. It would have been nice to get that before the green rain, because we would have got a lot more mixed seeds, but sure, look, there's always year 2 if we decide to continue this challenge. So I purchased tons of coffee off Gus today. Reason being, we are going to turn it into triple shot espressos and we are going to sell that to complete the Key's secret walnut quest, 25 key gems as a reward. We also make 850,000 gold today, primarily from selling Starfruit wines. We also made 110,000 gold from the triple shot espressos, so I mean it's nice money. And see that kind of money? That's going to become even greater. I mean, you've seen nothing yet. We still have more kegs to make, more Starfruits to grow, more wines to sell. I picked up another parrot egg inside a treasure room, and guess what? It was another level 4 parrot egg. How lucky can you get? Now, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe the level 4 parrot is the best parrot you can get. I don't think there's a level 5 parrot. I think level 4 is the best one. But if there is a level 5 parrot, someone please let me know. Thank you. Back to the game. Look at all this lovely stuff. 117 iridium ores, prismatic shards are all going to be sold for huge amounts of money. We've got lots of legendary fish ponds. We're doing really well. Now we are going to go to Clint today and we are going to buy a full stack and then some of iron ore. We're also going to get a full stack of coal. Why did we do this? Because I'm sick to death of going into the regular mines, going to Skull Caverns and trying to farm the stuff. I have the money and all this money is just sitting there. It's not like I can go buy more starfruit and plant it. I have a saying when it comes to making money. You have to spend money to make money. And by buying those huge stacks of ores, I have removed the bottleneck that was stopping me from making huge amounts of cakes. I can now make huge... I just made 85 cakes right there. Now, what I ran out of there was iron bars, but I've got tons of more iron ores I can very easily smelt in the bars to make even more cakes. I just have to focus more on tree farms, make more oak resins, and we will be sorted for cakes in the next week or so. We still have a pretty big backlog of starfruit to get through, but we're getting there, and eventually we will sort out that backlog and any new starfruit that come on the scene will get converted more or less straight away. I made more cakes today, ran out of wood of all things, so we're going to make our way to Robin's, cutting down all the trees that cross our path. We're then going to purchase literally thousands of wood from Robin. It's very cheap in year 1. It's only 10 pieces of gold for a piece of wood, so I'm going to get maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 7,000 pieces of wood. That should keep us going for the rest of the challenge when it comes to making kegs and getting upgrades and things like that. I'm also getting more friendship points with Linus because I want to learn the wild bait off him if we get the extended family quest, especially for the first couple of fish anyway. We're now getting Clint to break open golden mystery boxes. You can get some nice things from this. Triple shot expressos, mega bombs, other goodies. I also saved up to 10 diamonds, so we're going to visit the dwarf over in Ginger Island. We're going to get a very potent book of power called the Diamond Hunter. We're also going to get the recipes for the ginger ale and the warp totem to Ginger Island. They're going to come in very handy as well. Now, the Diamond Hunter is very good. There's a chance when you use your pickaxe to break open a node, a diamond will pop out. And believe you me, it's a lot more common than what you might think. It is an absolutely amazing book of power. As we can see, some of the trees there have been destroyed by people going to the beach, but most of the trees are standing, so that was good. So I'm cutting down more trees today, getting more wood, but I was just after the mastery levels. We're now mastery level 5, we can't get any more XP. The next quest was either Danger in the Deep or Keys Hungry Challenge. We're going to go with Danger in the Deep. I really wanted the extended quest, but that quest is also good because it gives us access to radioactive ore. We're also going to pick up the last mastery, which is Fishing Mastery, and we now get the Advanced Iridium Rod. It's just a crazy good rod. You can put 2 tackles on it, what more can you ask for? We're going to spend the rest of the day fishing up trash so we can complete the quest for Linus, and the next day he rewards us with the fiber seeds. And the fiber seeds, we'll actually make lots of those. We'll plant those in winter. They don't need to be watered, which is great. Now we're going to go to Robin and we're going to get her to make another fish pond. What we're basically aiming for here are 5 fish ponds in total, 1 for each of the legendary fish. So we're making our way down through the hardened versions of the mines today. If we come across radioactive ores, we will absolutely pick those up straight away. There's lots of great things we can make with radioactive ores, including heavy tappers, but we need to get the recipe first for the heavy tappers. And we can purchase that using key gems. All of these monster kills will still count towards monster eradication goals. Those little mini mushrooms will count towards dust sprite kills. We got some cool trinkets today. The fairy box summons a level 4 fairy. It heals you in combat situations. It's actually pretty nice, especially for boss battles, which unfortunately are not in the regular Stardew Valley at the moment. We also picked up the Basilisk Paw. That's a very nice trinket. It makes you immune to debuffs. There are lots of nasty debuffs in this game, especially in the hardened versions of the mines. Like those crossbow wielding enemies, if they hit you sometimes it can make your screen go dark. The ghosts you can encounter can give you a nasty debuff that will prevent you from healing for a good duration of time. We made it down to floor 120, that was another quest complete. We can now activate that shrine if we want, and we can turn those mines into the hardened versions and farm radioactive ores. We got another golden animal cracker. We're going to put that into the Crimson Fish legendary fish pond. So it is now the second to last day of fall. Look at all this lovely starfruit wine we get to pick up. There's lots of kegs now literally littered all over the place. We've got kegs in the greenhouse, kegs in the shed, kegs outside the farm, kegs on Ginger Island. There's kegs all over the place. We even have kegs inside of our own house. And all of these kegs are going to make us millions of gold. And I just cannot wait to sell all this stuff towards the end. Now, I'm going to make 416 fiber seeds today. And I'm going to plant those now. And it's going to be very nice to harvest those in winter. And that will basically resolve all of our fiber needs. I'm going to leave all of the mutated crops. Got a couple of mutated pumpkins there. We'll leave those. They make for a nice decoration, especially in winter. We're going to harvest all of this starfruit in the greenhouse. Once it's harvested, it will be converted into wine and it will be replanted as well. We made over 400,000 gold today from selling pumpkins, which was really nice. So this is the final day of fall, and look at all of our lovely pumpkins that we get to harvest today. We got a lot of mutations, which was nice. Now we could break them open with an axe, but I mean, look, you're only going to get maybe 10 or, maybe 15 pumpkins. I don't think it's worth it. I think you're much better off to leave them as decorations. I would absolutely love if an update was put into this game that allowed you to move around your mutated crops, so you could put them in very specific places. That would make for a really good farm tour video. But that's just my opinion. We're now back on Ginger Island and we are harvesting even more starfruit. And I mean, for the bones of winter, for the duration of winter, it's basically going to be a rinse and repeat. We have so many kegs now. We have so many tree farms to maximize the amount of money we can make. It is basically just gather materials, make kegs, make starfruit wine, and it's rinse and repeat. Now, I'm going to pickaxe up every single one of these quality sprinklers, and I'm going to sell most of these because they sell it for a decent amount of money, and there's no point just having them there on the ground, just do nothing. We're also going to go to Robin today, and we are going to get her to make another fish pond. We still have the mutant carp that we're going to put up right now, and then we have, in my opinion, the hardest fish in the entire game, the glacier fish. This thing is an absolute nightmare. I'm just going to show you the end of the battle. But I mean, the battle went on for so long. We had our ups and downs. Eventually, it just stayed in the kind of one place for those few seconds which I needed to capture it. More key quests, but unfortunately, we're just not getting the quest we want. No extended family quest. So we're going to go with Key's Prismatic Grange yet again. I will purchase 2 Dynamo chests. They're going to come in fairest handy because I can put starfruit seeds and I can put starfruit inside that, and it's just going to make it very easy to transport those from the regular farm over to Ginger Island. We're also going to activate the shrine for the hardened version of the mines, and we're going to get the magnifying glass off Krubs. Now, for the Key's Prismatic Grange for blue, I normally go with Joja Cola. If you didn't go to Georgia route, if you went the community centre route, you can just go into the saloon and you can just purchase Georgia Colas from the vending machine. You can do it very quickly if you press Y on your keyboard for yes. For purple, we're just going to go with bugged meat. I also picked up another golden animal cracker. That means we can now power up another legendary fishing pond and make it even more profitable. The only fishing pond that doesn't have a golden animal cracker right now is the angler. So for yellow we had sap, green fibre, and for red we had cherry bombs. It was an easy enough quest to do if you know the best places to get all the items. We got Linus up to 9 hearts because it was his birthday. He's going to give us a recipe for the wild bait. And for the rest of the day we're going to pull up lava eels. They're a lot more common up here in the volcano. And once you get some lava eel bait, they become extremely common up here. I only got a few pieces of bait today. Most of my catches were lava eels, and we're going to smoke those suckers up. 4,410 gold for every smoked lava eel. It's probably the best fishing spot in the game, bar the legendary fishing spots. And unfortunately, we're just not getting access to that quest. I really hope we do. If I can just get 2 or 3 days of fishing up Legend 2s, we'll be sorted. Today, we're just going in and out of floor 1, getting as much radioactive ore as possible, so we can make radioactive bars, so we can make heavy tappers. What was stopping us from making more heavy tappers was hardwood. It's a big hardwood requirement, but a heavy tapper, it's basically like putting 2 tappers on a tree. It works twice as fast as a regular tapper. We're going to make more preserve jars because we have a lot more legendary fish ponds now. most of them have golden element crackers, so we need to keep up with demand. We're going to get the final house upgrade today from Robin. It's 100,000 gold, well spent. It will give us access to the basement where we can put a lot more kegs down there. For the rest of the day, we're just filling up kegs. Day number 6 of winter, all of the fiber seeds are now ready to be harvested. Look how much fiber we make today. We get over 2,000 pieces of fiber. We can now make the Statue of Blessings. We're also going to make the statue of the Dwarf King as well. These statues will give us access to very powerful buffs on a daily basis. They're very good statues indeed. For the Dwarf King, I'm going to go with a greater chance to find ladders and shafts. I could have went with a greater chance to find coal, but I can just buy coal if I need it. When I clicked on the Statue of Blessings, it gave me a 10% critical strike chance, which was very nice indeed. Now, I wasn't really going to do a Skull Cavern run today, but I got excited after getting the buffs from the dwarf statue, so I said, you know what, let's just go into the Skull Cavern and have a go. I mean, we're waiting on kegs anyway to produce Starfruit. We're waiting for the Starfruit to grow in the greenhouse and on Ginger Island, so what else are we going to do in winter? We might as well just do some Skull Cavern runs, get some iridium ores, make some extra money that way. We can also get gold from killing the enemies inside of the Skull Cavern as well. The next day, we are going to use up our heavy furnaces. That is going to melt through our iron ore and give us lots of bars. And as you can see, we've made a lot more kegs, put them on Ginger Island, a lot more Starfruit. Now, I'm not selling any of this Starfruit, I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to sell it all on the final day to see how much money we get. All of these trinkets that we find are worth 1,000 gold each to Marlin. So, I mean, it pays to go hunt for trinkets. We get 2 very strong rings today. The Savage Ring, it gives us a speed buff when we kill an enemy. That works so nice with the parrot, because the faster you are, the more kills you can get per second. We're now getting more Starfruit inside the greenhouse. And we're now going to go to the fishing event here during winter, because to be honest, I've nothing else to be doing really. I could have went to the Skull Cavern, but I mean, I couldn't do Skull Cavern every day. You know, sometimes you have to add in a little bit of variety. So today we made tons of money from selling all of the aged raw. We also made 15 gold from selling the magnet. We made 66,000 gold from selling iridium bars, and we got money for some gold bars as well. So we're now more or less finished when it comes to making kegs. We have enough kegs made. We've more than enough to deal with all of the Starfruit we're getting. Unfortunately, we did not get the extended family quest, so we went with another Keys Prismatic Range. I combined my Lucky Ring along with my Iridium Band, and I'm also going to combine the Savage Ring with the Crabshell Ring, so it's a very nice ring combination. Now, what I would really like, would be a hot Jabba Ring. That would be much better than the Crabshell Ring, because enemies would not only drop gold, but they would drop triple shot espressos and coffee, and that would mean a lot more money that you would make on monster slaying runs. But alas, we don't get that kind of luck in this video. Now, today, we're just going to spend it wiping out bugs. We need a bug meat anyway for the Mr. Key quest, but to be honest, it's just so much fun coming down there with the parrot, wiping out bugs, getting lots of gold. We must have made over 100,000 gold that day from killing bugs. I filled up the basement with kegs. As you can see, we now have more than enough kegs to get the job done. All of the kegs in the shed are good to go. We're going to harvest all those. All of the kegs over on our Ginger Island house are good to go as well. We're going to grab all those. So today, we clicked on the Statue of Blessings. It gave us the prismatic butterfly effect. It just means you have to find where the butterfly is. When you find the butterfly, it will either give you a lot of gold. The gold is based on how much gold you've made so far, so we got a lot. Or it can give you a prismatic shard. I've actually never gotten a prismatic shard from that butterfly. It must be quite rare. Every time I've gotten it, I've just gotten gold. I also decided to do the Squid Fest today, just to get another book of power for the collection, because there wasn't really anything else I could do, and I could also either smoke up the squid or sell it for extra money as well. So I picked up a treasure chest as well. That sells for 5,000 gold, so that wasn't too bad. You can now get rid of the slime incubator that the slime hutch comes with, and you can just fill it up with kegs. Unfortunately, you can't get rid of the feeding traps. But you know what? They only take up 4 blocks. It's not too bad. So I picked up another prismatic butterfly today. That gave me even more gold, which was great. I'm going to trade in some omni geodes today for artifact troves. It would be nice to get some more books of power, just to add to the collection. I still haven't gotten the book of mysteries, and I still haven't gotten the book of power that dramatically increases the price of artifacts. So there's still a lot more books of power I could get if I'm lucky. Unfortunately, we did not get the extended family quest today. I did purchase the key to the city. At this moment in time, I was very worried about not getting the quest. But the prismatic jelly quest really cheered me up, because that means if I complete that quest, I will learn the monster musk, and the monster musk means a lot more enemies will spawn inside the Skull Caverns and the regular mines, and I'll be able to get a lot more money from said enemies. So I found the prismatic slime on floor 22, wiped that out, picked up its jelly. I spent a good portion of today just running down through floor 26 over and over again, because it was an infested floor, just wiping out enemies, making tons of gold. I'm at 5,750 gold from that floor alone by killing monsters. So I used the monster musk. I went straight into Skull Caverns today to wipe out loads of monsters, and I have to say it was just so much fun. I mean, if you have a good weapon and if you have to parry it, trust me, just pop a monster musk, go to a dangerous area and just annihilate enemies and just watch the gold literally fly out of them. If you have a hot Java ring, it's even better. If you have a burglar ring, it's even better again. If you have a napalm ring, it's even better again. Unfortunately, I didn't have the hot Java ring or the napalm ring, so, you know, it was still good though. Now, I made it down to floor 100. I picked up the iridium snake milk. That gave me a permanent increase in my health by a whopping 25. It's a huge survival increase. Despite the fact that it's pretty good defense, those bats still hurt. You really gotta watch out with them. I made 106,000 gold today from just selling bits and pieces. Radioactive bars, iron bars, iridium bars, gold bars, copper bars. I didn't need them anymore because I wasn't making kegs anymore, so I just sold them for the extra bit of money. I was gonna convert all my iridium ores today into iridium bars, and I spent the rest of the day running through the regular mines, just wiping out tons of enemies, making tons of money. As I said a few minutes ago, this can be optimized way better, but I mean, look, the stuff I had on me right now wasn't too bad. Plus, I had the monster musk, so I was going to use that to its maximum effect. Ginger Island the next day. This is probably going to be the final harvest of Starfruit. I also gave a banana to the big monkey here, and he gave me a couple more golden walnuts. We're actually very close to getting all of the golden walnuts. We just have to wait until year 2 and we can do the quest for the old woman. She gives fairy dust as a reward. It would be very nice to get fairy dust in year 1 actually, but hey, it is what it is. We need Kent to complete the quests. So I decided to take on Mr. Key's quest for the beans because I had nothing else to be doing. I did have a lot of kegs making a lot of starfruit, but we can't just wait every single day, so to make the most out of the days, I regularly visited the mines and just laid waste to the enemies within. Now, this never gets old for me. Just look at the amount of starfruit wine we're picking up here. Every day is a day filled with joy when I get to harvest starfruit wine from a keg. So there was lots of joyful days in this video, but the challenge isn't over yet. We still have 8 days to make as much money as possible. Now, because we had so many kegs generating so much wine, harvesting these kegs took up most of the day. But in all fairness, there isn't really a better moneymaker than this. You just can't compete with it, to be honest. Even if you fished every single day, just look at the money we have right now. We've over 3 million gold, and we have got thousands of starfruit wine tucked away in the chest, just waiting to be sold. Wait till you see the money we get at the end of this challenge. You're just not going to believe it. It is going to set a personal record. I don't know if you've watched my previous videos, but I did make over 10 million gold before I got the gold clock. We're going to exceed it this time. Unfortunately, luck wasn't on our side. We did not get the extended family quest for the fishing, so that was a huge downer. It just means we're going to miss out on several million gold because I had a whopper of a tactic to make huge amounts of money if that quest became available. but I'm just going to have to show you in the tips video instead. Oh well, what can you do? We can always redo the challenge in the future, and if we get that quest I can show you the potential of how much money it can get you. I did treat myself though, and I made 4 warp obelisks. One for the mountain, one for the beach, one for the desert, and one for Ginger Island. I also harvested all of the key fruit, put it into seed makers, put down more key fruit. I kept all the mutated ones because they just look so cool. I just love that big blue head. Lots of edged roe to be gathering. Now, these glacierfish roes, mutant carp roes, I mean, they don't sell for huge amounts like the legend roe, but they still sell for decent money. And they're all more profitable than lava eel roe, so it's still worth getting them. I got Joji for Christmas. I gave her the Joji Cola. She wasn't impressed. Now, I got Jas, and I thought Jas was going to give me something horrible because she said she found it on the beach. To my surprise, I opened up the present and I got an ancient doll. For some weird reason, I got a pop-up saying, the curator of the museum might want to know about this. Well, you know what? He's not getting it. Instead, I threw it into the lava pond here, floor 100, and I got a cool cutscene of some sort of a dragon or a fossilized creature. I got a Pharaoh waystone, put that into this contraption here, down in the wizard basement, and a cat popped out of a portal, and it gave me a super cool weapon called the Meowmere. And this is, I never played Terraria, but apparently that's meant to be, you know, a thumbs up to Terraria there, a little mini collaboration, if you will. So for the rest of the day, we're just farming Starfruit. We're at the end of the challenge now. This is the last harvest we're doing over on Ginger Island. All these Starfruit, of course, will not be converted into Starfruit wine. We're even going to pickaxe up the iridium sprinklers and sell those because they sell for decent money. We're going to get Clint to break open all these golden mystery boxes. You never know what you might get inside. Hopefully stuff that we can sell for lots of money. And now the time has finally come. We're going to sell everything. I also got the slime charmer ring as well because we killed over 1,000 slimes. So we're going to sell all these trinkets now to Marlin. I also got an iridium needle. That's an absolutely magnificent weapon. But critical strike bills are something I rarely use, but they are super fun. I sold everything in my chests today except the Starfruit and Starfruit wine. I'm at 110,000 gold. Let's look at all of the Starfruit wine we have accumulated. 1, 2, 3, over 4,000 Starfruit wine ready to be sold. Let's go to Pierre and make his day. First, we'll set him to regular Starfruit. That put us up to 1.2 million, 1.3 million, 2.2 million, 5.3 million, 8.5 million, 11.6 million, 14 almost 15 million gold. Now, to be honest with you, I was disappointed by this. I really wanted to make 20 or 30 million, and I would have made that if I got the extended family quest. But look, it just wasn't meant to be, just wasn't in the cards. So we're going to go to Clovis. We're going to treat ourselves to a return scepter. That costs 2 million gold. Sure, why not? We still have enough gold to buy a gold clock, and that's where we're going to go right now. We're going to visit the wizard, and we are going to purchase a fabulous gold clock for ourselves. This is what our farm looks like on the last day. We've got some mutated giant key crops. Now, I was going to harvest those key crops to complete the quest. I decided not to, because I just felt, you know, betrayed by Mr. Key because he didn't give me the quest I wanted. I gave the wizard a Joji color just to get a reaction, and a decent reaction I got. The gold clock, 10 million gold, prevents debris from appearing on your farm, keeps fences from decaying. And can I just mention, it also tells the time, which might be handy. So we made a total of 21,955,207 gold on this playthrough. I was aiming for at least 30 million, but look, I just didn't get the quests that I wanted. It's all RNG at the end of the day. I couldn't force the quests, so it is what it is. If I did the challenge again, who knows, I might get a few extended family quests, and I probably would have ended up making way more money. But hey, it was still a decent run, and I made a lot of gold. Now, if you made it this far into the video, thanks so much. I do appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video. A happy new year to you. I hope you have a good one. I wish you all the best. Huge shout out to all my channel members. Thanks so much everyone for supporting me. It's going to be a good year for this channel. 2025, I can feel it in my bones. So we've now started with a bang. Let's keep it going. Thanks again everyone, and I'll see you very soon.